So we're back with the third installment, halfway through this already. We are going through my top 5 favourite mutant champions of this class. Now, I'll do a disclaimer as I have done for the past 2 videos, and will probably continue until the series ends. This is personally who I like to play. This isn't who I think's the best, because everyone has their own different experiences. I'm sure we can all agree on like who is, well, depending on who you ask, who are the best characters, because some of them are used a lot more than others, but this is personally who I like to play and who I like to use. So with that disclaimer out of the way, we are going to get into my top 5 favourite mutants, as I just quickly double check my list. Coming in at number 5 is Dust. Now, Dust, I personally really like her. I don't use her a lot because, well, most of the time she causes my phone to lag, which is the sign of I need to get a new phone, which I probably will be at the beginning of next year because it's November. But Dust she was very interesting when she came out. I know she is very good as a defender, and she can be useful on attack as well. She's got the grit passive, so she can ignore unstoppable effects. She is really good against the majority of the skill class if they purify. So any purifiers, they're gonna struggle against Dust because of her sand passives. And the more of those you have built up, the more prowess you get, which means her specials do much damage. Quite a few interesting rotations for Dust as well. I think my favourite is probably build up some sand, special 3, then special 2, because you can trigger the sandstorm early with Dust by hitting by using the heavy attack. But why I like to play Dust is special 3, because that doesn't consume enemy power if you don't have a sandstorm up, and then you can just go into a special 2, purify those vulnerabilities, and you can build up to a special 1 and do some very decent damage if you're not already doing decent damage already. The other reason why she's really good is, well, because of that sandstorm, really, because it does physical damage, and no one's really immune to it. So if you're fighting a Dust and they get that sandstorm up, you're gonna take a little bit of damage at least. But yeah, I think the majority of the time I do use Dust as a defender because, well, her first medium is non-contact, so it can't trigger the parry mastery unless you have Ironheart at 5 debuffs, which is really easy to get. But we'll talk about Ironheart when we get to the tech class. But yeah, she's also got very good immunities as well: bleed, poison, and shock. And I just wish this was kind of like she's basically what I wish Sandman was, because I was really disappointed with Sandman when he came out. But yeah, Dust, she's I think she's definitely I just love using her, mainly on defense. I love chucking her on defense, but in a pinch, if you need to throw an attack, she is pretty awesome for that as well. So that is Dust coming in at number 5. Now number 4, very recently I got him, like 3 or 4 months ago I got him. That is Sunspot, because I had... The trouble is, with my 7-star mutant roster, I hadn't really got anyone which I really wanted to take up, because I didn't get lucky with Onslaught when he was in the Titan. Obviously, he's now in the basic now. I wasn't going to whale out for 7-star weapon flex. I really wanted Bishop, but I still haven't gotten 7-star Bishop. Obviously, then I got Dust, who I did take up to rank 2 pretty much nearly immediately. And then I got Sunspot. And I was like, okay, I know this guy's pretty good. How good is he? So I took him up, Played a little bit with him at rank 1 against like Winter Soldier, and then I took him into Battlegrounds for a little bit. And well, he's at rank 2, and I really like him. He's just a battleground. He's just a nuke. He's like, it is ridiculous how much damage he does. Crit me with your best shot with Sunspot. Like him and Scarlet Witch, I pretty much auto drafted because they were so much fun to use. Big yellow numbers from both of those champs, but yeah, because I took him up, I think, before Crit Me with Your Best Shot, and obviously when I got into GC, I basically drafted him every single time because I knew he was going to be ridiculously good. And he was. He won me a fair few games. I love the fact that you can basically self-purify the Incinerates off the opponent to give you power. I love that mechanic. And yeah, he's just a nuke, and he's on fire. And he's not burning his clothes. And he's wearing a suit and a tie. Talk about looking dapper. I'm never using that word again. But yeah, looks the part. Look like a vicar, talk like a vicar. He looks very, very good. But yeah, Sunspot, I was very pleasantly surprised with Sunspot. I already knew he was good. But I think taking him to rank 2 really, really helped him out. And he was a great addition to my 7-star mutant roster, and just my mutant roster in general. Now, number 3, speaking of ones who made a fine addition to my collection, is Havoc. I've had a soft spot for Havoc pretty much since he came out. Again, he's just one of those characters I just love to play. Decent play style. Very simple to play. Do a special 1 and then get to special 3. And with skills, and with skill champions, you can sometimes get away with a special 2. Just watch that health bar disappear with Havoc, which is why I like him so much. Like I said before with the, was it skill I did last? Skill. Some characters I like, they just have something satisfying about them. And watching that health bar disappear with that Havoc special 3 is very, very satisfying. Decent defender, unless the opponent has an armor up buff. I really like that, and he is a very, very good onslaught counter as well, because onslaught's neuroshocks just ramp him up so quickly. So there is that as well. And he's one of those characters that I think has aged like very fine wine. And I was very happy that I got him as a 7-star. And I immediately took him to rank 2 pretty much straight away. Because I knew he didn't really need the Awaken ability either. And yeah, he sat on defense for majority of Crit Me with Your Best Shot. Still in my deck now, because he can be quite good. Well, I think he's Tactic Defender for BGs and Alliance War, whether we do get the tactic or not, because my alliance has not had the best Alliance War season as of late. But yeah, Havoc, for me, an oldie but a goodie. He's, again, served me very well, and I was very happy to get him as a 7-star. And I was happy when he was announced as a 7-star anyway. Now, number 2, again, another character that I've loved for a very, very long time. As Iceman, I thought he was good before his buff, and the buff that Kabam gave him made him even better. He was one of my first he was one of my first 3 stars, he was one of my first 4 stars, and he was one of my first 5 stars. It took me forever to get the 6-star, but I finally got him. I was like, yeah, okay, straight to rank 5, Ascension. I love Iceman so much. Why? I still think he is a good attacker. He is still a very, very good defender. I love when his immunities, bleed, poison, cold snap, frostbite effects. So that's already great immunities. He's also immune to Human Torch's Nova Flame. So I love when people forget he is immune to that, and they have a human torch. I place this guy on defense in BGs, and they use human torch, and then they go into a fight, and they're probably like, oh shit, he's Nova Flame immune, and he's the only character that is Nova Flame immune. But you really want to bring this guy in on attack for a defensive Human Torch because Human Torch is immune to Cold Snap. So yeah, the only thing I would change about Iceman is I wish there was some way you could get him to do a guaranteed crit, because the Frostbite charges, the way you get them is like, I think it's a 70% chance. Yeah, 70% chance for a Frostbite passive. If there was a way to, whether that be through like his fourth light attack on the combo, to get a Frostbite charge, I'd love him even more. Because what you want to do with Iceman is build up those Frostbite charges and then detonate with a heavy attack, because they do more damage. And if you do it with a heavy attack, they still do damage, a bit of damage when they expire naturally, but you want to detonate him with a heavy attack. Instant. Well, actually with his special ability, or signature ability, he does have a guaranteed way to shut down evade. Guaranteed way to shut down evade as well with Special 1. Special 2, they put the X-Men, not the Professor X, Special 2, like synergy in his base kit, which was really, really cool. But yeah, again, one of those champions for me that has he just always popped up in my account. Like I said, one of my first 3 stars, one of my first 4 stars, 5 stars, and then he finally said hello as a 6-star level, and I think he can make a great addition as a 7-star. You can put back crit rate. What are they called again? Can't remember. The buff change. You can up his crit rate. Put that on him. I think he'd make a great addition as a 7-star, and I hope he does, because he's Iceman and he's cold, and I love him. Moving on to number 1, you've given me Glaze Iceman. I'm going to join in and Glaze Onslaught. I really want 7-star Onslaught. I really, really do. He would be an immediate rank 3, definitely. He was basically an immediate rank 5 and Ascension when I got this guy from Featured as well. He's just a unique mutant, because most mutants rely on prowess for their damage. Onslaught don't need prowess. He looks cool. He looks like Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Apart from the back, obviously, where he looks like a turtle. But I mean, what do I need to say about Onslaught that hasn't already been said? I think he's the best. He's definitely one of the best mutants of the game, if not the best for me. I love his playstyle where you get the Neo Shocks up, throw a special 1, build up a special 2, make sure you get the extended pause, and those degens come in, and yeah. He's just so good. He's just so good. Good on defense still. Great for offense as well in a pinch. Obviously not as quick as some characters, but he can still get it done. He's 150% resistant to bleed, incinerate, and shock, which is nice utility, which means willpower comes into effect, so you can heal from that. Crush as well, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, just the Neo Shocks, the fact that no one's immune to them, the fact that any purifiers, all of this stuff gets turned into passive, which I really, really like. Yeah, this guy's just cool. I really want as a 7-star. Hopefully that day will come soon. And yeah, and he's also a combination of Professor X and Magneto. What more do you want? So I'm going to leave this video here. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you like this video, check out some of my other content. Also, watch the other 2 videos that I did on skill and science in terms of my top 5 favourite characters. And I shall see you in the next video. Goodbye.